50 historical facts most people get wrong. History is full of drama, betrayal, revolution, and surprisingly, a whole lot of myths. Today, we're diving headfirst into 50 historical facts that most people believe but are actually wrong. Let's set the record straight. Napoleon was short. Actually, he was slightly taller than the average Frenchman of his time. Vikings wore horned helmets. Total myth. No archaeological evidence backs it up. The Great Wall of China is visible from space. It's not. Not with the naked eye. Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." No credible evidence she ever did. Witches were burned at Salem. Nope, they were hanged. Einstein failed math. He didn't. He was a math prodigy. Toilets flushed backward in the southern hemisphere. That's not how the Coriolis effect works. Columbus proved the Earth was round. That was already common knowledge in his time. The pyramids were built by slaves. Evidence suggests paid laborers built them. George Washington had wooden teeth. They were made of ivory, gold, and even human teeth. Medieval people believed the Earth was flat. Scholars knew it was round. The Library of Alexandria was destroyed in one day. Its decline was gradual over centuries. Jesus was born on December 25th. That date was chosen centuries later. Nero fiddled while Rome burned. The fiddle didn't even exist then. Chastity belts were widely used. There's little evidence they were ever practical or common. Roman gladiators fought to the death. Most matches ended with both fighters surviving. Napoleon invaded Russia in winter. He invaded in summer. Winter just crushed his retreat. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. He improved on earlier designs. Shakespeare wrote alone. He collaborated frequently. The Emancipation Proclamation freed all slaves. It only applied to Confederate states. Vikings were dirty barbarians. They bathed regularly and valued grooming. The Berlin Wall fell in one day. The process took months of events. Romans invented democracy. That was the Greeks. Rome had a republic. Medieval food was rotten and spicy to hide it. Wealthy people ate well-seasoned but fresh food. Walt Disney drew Mickey Mouse. It was actually Ubi Eyeworks. Salem witches were all women. Several men were accused and executed. The Trojan horse story is historical fact. It's likely a myth or metaphor. Women didn't fight in wars until recently. Many women fought disguised as men or led armies. Cleopatra was Egyptian. She was Greek, from the Ptolemaic dynasty. Lincoln freed the slaves out of pure morality. It was also a strategic war move. The Titanic sank because it hit an iceberg. True, but poor design and human error played big roles. The 300 Spartans fought alone. They were supported by thousands of Greek allies. Knights used giant swords in battle. Most used practical, shorter weapons. The Middle Ages were a scientific wasteland. There was significant innovation, especially in the Islamic world. Slaves built the White House alone. It was a mix of enslaved and free labor. The Eiffel Tower was meant to be permanent. It was supposed to be temporary. Einstein was a poor student. He excelled in math and science. The Civil War was only about slavery. Slavery was central, but not the only cause. Samurai always committed seppuku when defeated, not nearly as often as portrayed. The Great Chicago Fire was started by a cow. No proof that ever happened. The moon landing was faked. It wasn't. It's one of the most well-documented events in history. Pirates buried their treasure rarely. Most spent it quickly. Witches were burned all across Europe. In many places, they were hanged or drowned. King Arthur was a real person. Most scholars consider him a myth. The American Revolution was won by militias alone. French aid was critical. Spartacus was a gladiator hero who escaped Rome. He was a real rebel leader, but not the superhero he is often portrayed as. Albert Einstein invented the atomic bomb. He didn't. He just wrote a letter that helped launch the project. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Constitution. He didn't. He was in France at the time. Vikings called themselves Vikings. The word comes from Old Norse, but wasn't widely used as a self-identifier. History is boring, clearly it's not. History isn't just what happened, it's also what we think happened. And sometimes those stories evolve into legends, myths, or outright fiction. But that's why we're here, to dig deeper, question everything, and set the record straight. Thanks for watching. And remember, when in doubt, ask a historian.